In today's lecture, we are going to study color in coordination compounds. Students, we know that most of the transition metal complexes are colored compounds. They have variety of colors like blue, purple, green, pink, etc. One of the achievements of crystal field theory is its ability to explain the color of transition metal complexes. Now, these complexes, they have a property to absorb certain radiations from the visible region of the spectrum, and as a result, the uh, transmitted light is colored. Now, this visible light or the white light, when it is allowed to fall on a sample, it is passed through a sample. So, certain wavelengths are absorbed from this white light. So, the light which is coming out from the sample, it will be devoid of certain wavelengths and it will not be appearing as white. It will have certain color and which is called as the complementary color of the absorbed wavelengths. For example, in this case, this is a solution of complex CuNH3 2 plus. When the white light is falling on this solution, from this red and orange light is absorbed by the solution and the rest of the light is transmitted out and they together mix and they are giving the complementary color, that is blue color. So, this is a table which shows the relationship between the wavelength of light absorbed and the color observed in some of the coordination entities. For example, COCl NH3 2 plus, it absorbs yellow wavelength from the white light and it will give out violet light. So, this is the complementary color of this wavelength. Similarly, CONH3 H2O3 plus, it will absorb blue green light from the white light and it will give out its complementary color, that is red. So, the color of complexes is due to the absorption of light in visible region of the spectrum and radiation of complementary color. Now let us see what is happening at electronic level. We know that in these metal complexes, the degeneracy of d orbitals of metal ion is removed. We have two sets of orbitals, one having lower energy and other having higher energy. So what happens when the light is falling on these electrons? The electrons, they absorb energy from the light falling on them and they absorb energy. So from lower energy set, they are going to higher energy set of orbitals, and this is called as dd transition. Why dd transition? Because from one d orbital of lower energy, it is going to another d orbital of higher energy only. So let us see, in case of TiH2O6 3 plus, this is a D1 system. Now this is the case. This is a octahedral complex. So we have two set. Higher energy set is Eg set, and here we have lower energy set, that is T2G set. So this is the one electron which is present in the d orbital of the metal ion, that is titanium. Now, when the light is falling on this, the electron will absorb appropriate wavelength, that is photons of appropriate energy. Energy should be equal to the energy difference between these two uh, states, and hence the electron will be going to higher energy set after absorbing energy. So as it has absorbed certain wavelength from the light, it will give out the rest of the wavelengths, which will be given out as its complementary color, and it will exhibit violet color. Now, certain points we have to keep in mind. The complexes with metal ions having incomplete d subshells will be colored, and the complexes in which the metal ion is having D0 or D10 ions, these will be usually colorless. For example, complexes of Zn2 plus D10, then Ag plus again D10 system, Ti4 plus again D0, so these will be colorless. And in the absence of ligand crystal field splitting, does it means that when the ligand is not there, then the compound will be colorless. For example, copper sulfate with 5 water molecules, that's pentahydrate, it is blue in color. So when water molecules are present, they act as ligands, so the degeneracy of d orbitals of copper ions will be removed. We have two sets of d orbitals, so after absorbing particular wavelength, dd transitions are possible, so it will show blue color. But when it is heated and we get anhydrous copper sulfate, it is colorless. Now in this case, water is absent, so the ligand is absent. No ligand is there, hence no splitting of d orbitals into two groups. All the d orbitals are having same energy and hence no dd transition, so it is colorless. Remember children that dd transition is one of the reason of color in coordination complexes, but there are other reasons also, like charge transfer spectra is also there, but at this level we have to study only about dd transitions. Now color also changes with the change in coordination number, nature of ligands. For example, cobalt with 6 water molecules as ligand in +2 oxidation state is pink, but with the chloride ion as ligand, it is blue in color. Now we move on to the last part, that is limitations of crystal field theory. Now according to this, the first limitation is that the anionic ligands should exert the greatest splitting effect, but they were at the low end of the spectrochemical series. It means that the anionic ligands like Cl minus, Br minus, we expect them to exert great splitting effects, means we expect them to have large delta O values, or they should act as strong field ligands, but actually we have seen that they are at the lower end of the spectrochemical series. This is one of the limitations why this is happening. Then another limitation is that it does not take into account the covalent character of bond between metal ion and ligands. So with this we have finished crystal field theory.